right, everybody, thank you for joining me. Oh, one sec, sorry. Can you guys see my hands? I think you can. Sorry. All right, sorry about that. I'm glad you guys made it, and just to let you know about the Express Yoga class, we did change the dates because it was communicated to me that it might be better to have it on different days. So this is the regular yoga class, but if you do want to take what's called Express Yoga class, it's the same as this class, it's just shortened, it's only 30 minutes, and that is on Mondays and Thursdays from 11:15 to 11:45, but Tuesday and Wednesdays is still from 12 to 1, a full hour class. But if you want to, please feel free to join me for the 30-minute yoga class on Mondays and Thursdays, 11:15 to 11:45. If you have questions about it, you can leave me a message in the chat and I'll follow up with that. Okay, so we're going to start sitting in your easy seat. This is called Sukhasana. Start with your right leg in front of the left. Close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Place one hand on your chest. Let the other hand rest on your abdomen. And we'll start with what's called a centering exercise. You just want to become aware of the breath. You don't need to control your breath at this point. Just be aware of how the inhalation creates the rise and fall of the chest. Simply noticing it. Then feel how the belly inflates and deflates along with the breath. On the inhalation, the belly inflates. And with the exhalation, you'll feel the belly deflate. But just for a few moments of silence, focus on your breath, not analyzing it, just noticing how it flows through the body. Release your hands to the knees so the palms are turned down. Inhale, and with your exhalation, open the eyes, hinge forward from the hips, walk the hands out, let your head hang. Inhale, lift your head, lift your chest, walk the hands in, and sitting tall. We'll do our lateral flexion next. Take your right arm overhead, rotate your chest upward to the ceiling, looking upward to your right. Inhale, center, and exhale. We're going to turn to our right. So your left hand goes to the outside of the right knee. Inhale, lengthen the spine, and exhale, twist from the waist. Pushing away with the back hand, return to your center. We'll switch sides. Stretch your left arm overhead. Turn your chest up to the ceiling, looking up to your left. Be sure and reach out through the fingertips of the left hand. Inhale, center, and exhale. We're going to twist to our left. Right hand outside of the left knee. And pushing away with the back hand, return to your center. Bring your opposite leg in front, and we'll go into a chest opener. For the chest opener, the fingertips are on the ground behind you. Just for anyone who's new here today, I want to show you what that looks like. The fingertips are turned away from the hips, and you have the option, if you want, of pushing the palms to the floor. If that's uncomfortable, just stay on your fingertips. That's fine. If you are palming the ground and that's really easy, you can always walk the the hands close together until the sides of the pinky fingers touch. Do what feels comfortable for you today. And I like to have the eyes closed in this pose. It helps focus on the breath. And we're going to start using Ujjayi breath. That's victorious breath. And you're going to control the breath with slow inhalations through the nose and longer exhalations out through the nostrils. With your next exhalation, open the eyes and then extend your arms out to the sides. We're going to slide our right hand out, stretch the left arm overhead. Look upward to your left. And pushing away with the bottom hand, come to your center. Left hand slides out, right arm stretches overhead. Turn your chest upward to the ceiling as you look upward to your right. Keep both sit bones on the floor. Make sure your right sit bone is pressed into the ground. Push off the bottom hand and return to center. Using your Ujjayi breath, inhale, arms up. As you exhale through the nose, lower the hands in front of heart center. Feel free to close the eyes so you can focus on the breath. The breath controls the movement, so inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, lower the hands in front of heart center. Just feeling the breath take the arms up. And the exhalation, lower the hands. Going around one more time, do it at your own pace. When the exhalation's finished and you find your hands are in front of your heart center again, then release the hands to the knees, palms are turned down. Take your time. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And with the exhalation, we're going to open the eyes, hinging forward from the hips. Walk your hands up. Let your head hang. Inhale, lifting the head, lifting the chest. We're going to sit tall again. And now it's time to come onto all fours. We'll go into our first spinal balance of the class. For all fours, make sure you place the wrists under the shoulders, knees hip width apart. With your right leg, reach back with it and push into the ball of the right foot. So feel the stretch as you do that. Then inhale, right heel in line with the hip, left arm out in front. You can stay here, or if you want to move deeper into the pose, bend your right knee, hold on to the ankle with the left hand. Continue to use the Ujjayi breath as you breathe slowly and deeply in and out through the nose. Long inhalations, even longer exhalations out through the nostrils. And exhale, hand, knee back to the floor. We'll repeat on the left side. So you're going to reach back through the left leg, push into the ball of the left foot, feel that stretch. Inhale, left heel in line with the hip. Right arm out in front, so opposite arm and leg. Right arm extended, left leg reaching back. If you want to go further, the option is to bend the left knee, holding onto the left ankle with the right hand. One more breath, and then use your exhalation to return the hand, knee to the mat. And we're going to go into a posture called child's pose or balasana. Sit bones are on the heels. You can rest your forehead on the floor with the arms out in front of you. Or you can modify the position, stacking one fist on top of the other to rest your forehead on. Use your inhalation to lift the head and chest. Come to all fours. Separate your knees hip width apart again, and we'll do our cat-cows next. As you inhale, lift the chest, point the tailbone to the ceiling, push the belly button to the floor. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone under, bring the navel to the spine, round down, chin to chest. So keep moving with the Ujjayi breath. The inhale creates the lift of the chest, and use the exhalation to tuck the tailbone under. Try and exaggerate the pose. So you might hear as I'm doing this Ujjayi breath, this hissing or humming sound. I'm creating it by squeezing the air down the windpipe. This is your last cat-cow. When your exhalation's finished, bring your spine to a neutral position, and in your own time, return to Balasana, the child's pose, where the sit bones rest on the heels, forehead on the floor, arms out in front, or the modified version if you want, with the stacked on top of the other, rest your forehead on. Inhale as you lift your head and chest. Come to all fours. Separate your knees hip width apart. And we're going to go into a downward facing dog next. For downward dog, curl your toes under, lift the hips, bring the weight to the heels. Look at your toes. Continue to use the Ujjayi breath. Control the breath. Press your chest towards your knees. Bend the knees. Looking in between the thumbs. You can walk or step the feet until they're in between the hands. And we're going to bend our knees again. Inhale, reach the arms up, lift the chest. Exhale as you reach back, going to upward salute or Urdhva Hastasana. Chin lifted, gaze is towards the thumbs. And I'm just going to scoot my mat back a bit. I think maybe you can see my arms a little bit more. I'm kind of cut off. Sorry about that. Inhale, center. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Look out in front of you. This is your half standing forward bend, known as Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees. Let's palm the mat. Step back into what's called a plank pose. Shoulders over wrists. Turn the elbows to the hips. Lower the chest. This is Chaturanga. Inhale as you lift the heart and chest, pressing into the tops of the feet. This is an upward facing dog. Bend the elbows, push off the floor. Curl the toes under as you lift the hips and go into downward facing dog. Bend the knees, looking in between the thumbs. Walk or step your feet until they're back in between the hands. Bend both knees again. Inhale, reach your arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, upward salute, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, half standing forward bend. Exhale, fold in half. Knees are bent, palms are on the ground as you step into a plank. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Chest lifted, drishti gaze to the ceiling. Bend the elbows, push off the ground. Curling the toes under, lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Remember to control the breath using Ujjayi breath. Consciously breathing in and out through the nose. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs. Walk or step your feet forward. We'll bend our knees again and use the inhalation to reach the arms up, lift the chest. and exhale, Urdhva upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees, your palms are on the mat. You can step into your plank position. And if anybody doesn't want to modify the plank today, all you need to do is drop the knees, tops of the feet to the floor. We're going to exhale to chaturanga, point the elbows to the hips. Inhale, lift the heart and chest as you go to upward facing dog, pushing into the tops of the feet. We'll bend our elbows, press off the floor, curl the toes under, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Bend the knees. We're going to do runner's lunge. Step or place your right foot in between the hands. So for runner's lunge, your right foot is parallel to the wide edge of the mat here. And you're going to stay on the ball of the back left foot. You can rest the hands on the front thigh, or you can reach the arms overhead. Keep your chest lifted. Make sure you can see that right big toe, however. If you can't, inch it forward. You want to keep the knee directly over the right ankle. And then exhale, hinge forward from the hips. We'll step to a plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And let's exhale, downward facing dog. Consciously controlling the breath. Runner's lunge, left side. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs, and step or place the left foot so it's in between your hands. Get your balance, push into the ball of the right foot. Your choice if the hands stay on the front thigh, or you reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. We'll step back to our plank. Remember that option to modify it with the knees and tops of the feet on the floor. Exhale to chaturanga. Elbows are turned to the hips as you lower your chest. Inhale, lift the heart and chest. And use the exhalation to go all the way back to downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs. Walk or step your feet together. Bend your knees again. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale. This is upward salute. Upper arms alongside the ears, ideally. Inhale, center. So final sun salutation or starting on the star. This is the last time we're doing this one. Inhale, lengthen spine, look out in front. Exhale, fold in half. Knees bent, palms on the ground, back to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, back to downward facing dog. Sink your heels towards the floor. Press the chest to the knees. Bend the knees, look in between the thumbs. Walk or step your feet forward. Bend both knees. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Lower the arms so the palms are turned outwards, and this posture is called mountain pose or Tadasana. Okay. Let me just try and adjust my screen a little bit, and we will move to some standing poses. poses, you're going to start at the short edge of the mat, hands in front of heart center on Chalya Mudra. Feet close together, toes, ankles touching. Bend the knees, drop the seat. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Pull your navel in and up so you have a slight tuck to the tailbone. And this is chair pose or Utkatasana. We're going to go deeper. Exhale, drop the seat. Starting with a warrior one. Your right foot's in front of you. Step back to the left. Keep your hips facing the short edge of the mat. Option to reach your arms to the ceiling. Chest lifted. If you want, you can lift the chin and look up to the thumbs. If that throws you off balance, just look straight ahead. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Step back to a mountain pose. Release the arms, palms turned outwards. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale for Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to chair, Utkatasana. So remember, we're squeezing the inner thighs together, toes, ankles touching, or at least as close as possible. Pull your navel in and up. Light tuck to your tailbone here. And one more exhalation as you drop the seat. Warrior one, your Vajrasana one, your left foot's in front. You can step back to your right foot and option to reach the arms straight up to the ceiling. Turn your right hip towards the left knee. We want our hips parallel to the short edge of the mat in front of us. And push into your back right foot, specifically the side edge of the back right foot. The outside edge, I should say. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Return to Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, reaching back for upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, into your chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, drop the seat. We're going to do warrior two next. Your right foot stays in front of you, step back to your left. So you can widen the base if you want. Just make sure you can still see the right big toe. If you can't, inch your foot forward. Your goal is to keep the knee over the ankle. Don't let it go beyond the ankle. Reach your arms out. And your head's turned to look forward over the middle finger of the right hand. If you want to deepen the pose, you can drop the hips. Reverse warrior. So your left hand is going to inch towards the left ankle. The right arm is in the air. And your gaze is upward towards your right hand. Right pinky finger turned in towards your nose. And then back to warrior two. Release the arms, straighten the front leg. Giant step into mountain Tadasana. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest. Exhale, reach back, Urdhva Hastasana. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair. Let's just drop our seat one more time here. All right, so same sequence as before. We're going to do warrior two to reverse warrior. Starting with your your left foot in front. I'm mirroring you here. So your left foot's in front. Big step back onto the right. Reach your arms out. Make sure you can see that left big toe. Otherwise, just the foot goes forward and the front foot goes forward a little bit if you can't see it. And just make a note that your torso is straight up and down. Sometimes there's a tendency to reach forward like that as a different pose. Right now we're keeping our shoulders stacked over the hips. Moving to our reverse warrior. Your left arm reaches up, right hand inches towards the right ankle. Turn the left pinky finger into the nose. Gaze upward at your raised hand. to warrior two. Shoulders stacked over the hips. Release the arms, straighten the front leg. Giant step to Tadasana or down pose. Inhale, arms up. Lift the chest. And exhale, upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, Uttanasana, standing forward bend. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking out in front. And then exhale, fold in half. So now we're going to do intense side stretch, Parsvottanasana. If you have a block, you can use it. Bend your knees. Right foot stays in front. Step back to the left. I've got a gap of about 3.5 feet in between the heel of the right foot and the arch of the back left foot. So to keep the right leg straight, if I might be more comfortable to hold on to the leg, you could use the block to raise the floor to you, or you could place your fingertips or palms to the floor. Both legs stay straight here. Gaze is forward beyond the front right foot. Pull your right hip back as you turn your left hip towards your right knee. Last breath, and then we'll bend the front knee as we step the left foot forward. Bend both knees. Inhale. Arms reach up. Lift the chest. Exhale. This is Urdhva Hastasana, upward salute. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair. So we're going to repeat the other side now. So go ahead and fold back to standing forward bend, Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine. This is your half standing forward bend, Ardha Uttanasana, looking outward. Exhale, fold in half. Your left foot stays in front this time as you step back onto the right foot. Remember to use the prop if you want, or hold onto the front leg if you don't have the prop. Otherwise, fingertips and palms are also welcome. Continue to use the Ujjayi breath. Bend the front knee. Step the right foot forward to meet the left. Bend both knees. Inhale. Reach your arms up. Lift the chest. And exhale as you go to your upward salute. Urdhva Hastasana. Chin lifted. Your drishti or your gaze is to the thumbs. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Release your arms so the palms are turned outwards. And we're going to move into our first balancing pose of the class, tree pose. Start by closing your eyes and bringing the hands together in front of heart center. So we're just checking the alignment of our body before we go into the posture. Stand tall. Lengthen your spine. Feel yourself grow a little taller. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift your toes up, spread your toes wide into the mat. Push the four corners of the foot to the floor. So the four corners, just both sides of the ball of the foot, both sides of the heel of the foot are rooted into the ground. Inhale. Exhale. Open the eyes again and stare at a fixed point. So keep looking at something that won't move. And remember, I'm hearing you here. You're starting with your right foot. So place your right foot on your ankle, side of calf, or inner thigh. And you're welcome to take the arms overhead or just keep the hands in front of heart center, your choice. Keep turning your right knee out to the right side. So external rotation of the right hip. You might want to include the Ujjayi breath if you can. Controlling the breath again, using your Ujjayi breath as a point of focus is good. And exhale, hands in front of heart center, knee to the midline. And we're in mountain pose, Tadasana. Palms are opened outward for an opening through the chest. Close the the eyes again, place the hands together in front of heart center. Find a comfortable standing position. If you want to reposition your feet, go ahead and do that. When you're happy with your foot placement, lengthen the spine again and relax the shoulders away from the ears. Lift up all the toes, fan them out into the mat. Press the four corners of the foot to the floor so both sides of the ball of the foot, both sides of the heel of the foot are rooted into the floor. Inhale. Exhale. Open your eyes. Stare at a fixed point. And let's do our left foot. So your left foot is on the ankle, side of calf, or inner thigh. Turn your left heel forward to help with external rotation of your left hip. Option to reach the arms up. Lift from underneath the rib cage. And as you do that, you might feel your body grow a little bit taller, but make sure the shoulders still stay relaxed away from the ears. Exhale, hands in front of heart center, knee to the midline, and we're going to step into Tadasana, mountain pose. Good, shoulders relaxed. All right, let's do Prasarita Padottanasana, which is a standing wide ankle forward bend. Separate your feet about one leg's distance apart or more. Your toes are facing the wide edge of the mat, so the sides of the feet are parallel to the short edges of the mat. Bring the hands to rest on your hips. Roll your shoulders back, just getting an opening through the chest. Exhale, hinge forward from the hips. So your decision here, if you want to hold on to the legs, use a block to raise the floor to you, or place your fingertips or palms on the ground. The top of the head is pointed down to the floor. Look in between your legs. Squeeze your quadriceps, the muscles in the front of the thighs, actively engage them. We're going to come out of the posture slowly. So bend the knees, begin to roll up one vertebrae at a time until eventually you're completely vertical again. Inhale, arms up, lift the chest, and exhale, reach back, chin lifted, gaze to the thumbs. If you feel lightheaded, that's okay, just look straight ahead. We'll come back to center. Exhale, hands in front of heart center. Release the hands. And we're going to do a pose that we've been working on for a few weeks now called half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. If you have a block, go ahead and use it. It's great to have for this pose. It brings the floor to you. We're going to turn our feet to the right. So turn your feet to the right. Your right foot's turned out 90 degrees. For right now, the back left foot's angled in slightly. And the block, if you're using a block, it goes ahead of the right foot and slightly to the side of the right foot, outside of it. Okay? So it's a balancing pose. You want to look at something on the floor to help with your perspective and the balance. Bend your right knee. Bring your right hand to the floor or the block and lift the left leg up. Left arm reaching for the ceiling, left hand over the left shoulder. Shoulders, hips stacked on top of each other. And I forgot to mention those at home who have a wall available that you can press your back into the wall for support. To come out of the pose, we're going to release the arm, bend the right knee, step the left foot back, and switch feet to the left. So if you're using a wall as a support, that's great. That means your back, your entire back is pressed into the wall behind you. So the block is going in front and to the side of the left foot this time. Left hand goes to the block or the floor, right leg lifts up. And sorry, I didn't have my balance there, but your right arm is extended upward. Release the arm. You can bend the left knee as you set the right foot onto the floor and straighten up. Let's heel toe the feet or jump the feet together if you prefer. And step 2, Tadasana, your mountain pose. Standing again at the short edge of the mat, place the hands on the hips. Roll your shoulders back. Exhale, hinging forward from the hips, coming to Uttanasana. Inhale, lengthen the spine, look out in front. Exhale, fold in half. Bend the knees, bring your palms to the ground. Step to a plank. We're going to modify the plank so the knees, tops of the feet are on the floor. Drop the sit bones to the heels and rest here in child's pose or Balasana. Inhale, lift the head, lift the chest. We'll come to all fours now, and we're going to drop one hip to the mat and come into bound ankle pose or Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet, the bottoms of the feet are pushed up against each other. You can hold on to the ankles or the toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hinge from the hips. So you want to keep the chest lifted here. Don't worry about getting your forehead to the toes. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to, it's not going to happen today most likely, but we're trying to get our navel to rest on our big toes. So keep that in mind as you hinge forward from the hips. I welcome you to close the eyes. Focus on your Ujjayi breath. As you take a long inhalation through the nose, lengthen the spine. Longer exhalation out through the nostrils. Begin to hinge forward from the hips. Don't force anything. So just do what feels comfortable as you use the breath to help relax you into the posture. Relax the inner thigh muscles. And we're going to use our inhalation to open the eyes if they were shut. Come back to center. Bring the knees together, sliding one leg out, then the other. Roll the legs in and out from the hips and let them rest. So with the heels all the way at the very short edge of the mat, we're in a posture right now called staff pose or Dandasana. We're going to end up rolling all the way down to the mat. Slide the fingertips to the knees. Looking down at your belly button. Come to rest on your elbows, your shoulder blades, and then let your head rest on the floor. Walk your heels to the sit bones. So once both feet are flat on the floor, lower the small of the back to the floor. And we're going to come into a restorative posture called Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining bound ankle pose. That means the bottoms of the feet are pressed up against each other, knees turned out to opposite sides, arms slightly away from the sides of the torso with the palms rotating upward to the ceiling. Go ahead and just close your eyes. Let your breath return to its natural breathing rate here. And as you become aware of the breath without controlling it, just notice the quality of the breath. Is your breath flowing smoothly through the body? Or maybe it's a little jagged. It could be because you've been doing some challenging poses, but it will slow down. I invite you to open your eyes again. Bring your knees together and the small of the back to the floor. We'll cross our right ankle over the left knee. Flex the right foot. Keep the right ankle straight. Inhale, left foot up off the floor. And 3 options. You could hold on to the right shin with both hands, You could thread the needle, meaning the right arm goes in between the legs, and you can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh or over the front of the left shin. We're back to using our Ujjayi breath now. Inhaling through the nose with an even longer exhalation out through the nostrils. Direct the breath into the area where you feel the tightness. Perhaps it's the outside of the hip. It might be another spot depending on your range of motion. But wherever you feel that tightness, use the inhalation to create space and the exhalation to relax the muscles as you guide the legs closer and closer towards your chest. Release the hands, return your foot to the floor. You're going to uncross the legs, and we'll go to the opposite side. So left ankle crossed over the left knee. I'm going to turn my left knee out to the left side and flex the left foot. Inhale, right foot up off the floor, holding on to either the left shin, interlacing the fingers behind the back of the right thigh or over the front of the right shin. And still using my Ujjayi breath. We'll come out of the posture by releasing the hands, returning the foot to the floor, uncrossing the legs, slide one leg down the mat, then the other, roll the legs in and out from the hips, and then just let them rest. We're moving to the guided relaxation section of the class now. I hope you can stay with me, but if you can't, I just want to remind you again that we do have Express Yoga Mondays and Thursdays, 11:15 to 11:45, and Linda said that she did put it, I guess, in the Colgate calendar, and the link is there. But if you have any questions, write something down in the chat for me, okay? When you're ready, I want to have you rest in Shavasana. That means you're completely reclined on your mat. You can turn off your lights in your house if you want. You could put a blanket over your body if you get cold. You could put an eye pillow over your eyes, whatever you want to do to make yourself comfortable for the next about 10 to 15 minutes. Separate your legs so they form the letter V. That means the heels are at the opposite corner edges of the mat. Your arms are away from the sides of the torso, and your palms are rotated upward to the ceiling. So palms facing the ceiling. And please stay reclined and comfortable on your back. I'll let you know when it's time to come up again, okay? Let's take an active inhalation through your nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. Let your awareness flow down to your toes. Wiggle your toes. Then let the feet rest. Move to the hands. You're going to wiggle your fingers a bit. Open wide through the palm. Stretch all the way out through the fingertips. Curl your fingers in. Make a soft fist. Squeeze it a few times. And let go, letting the hands open again. Feeling the natural curl of the fingers with the hands at rest. Let your awareness flow down to the feet. Visualize a healing energy. This energy can travel into your big toes. And for the moment, just notice your big toes. Very small part of the body. Noticing how the big toes feel in this one moment in time. Let the energy flow to the second toe. Just noticing the second toe. And in your own time, guide the energy to the next toe and the next until eventually it reaches the smallest toe. Notice the spaces in between each of the toes. Let the healing energy run down the backs of the toes and wash through the soles of the feet. Feel the energy massaging the bottoms of the feet, rubbing away any cramping, any fatigue that might exist in the foot. As you continue to focus on your foot, visualize the small muscles that visualize the small bones that compose the foot. So thinking about the small bones that make up your foot, consider the spaces in between each of the small bones that make up the foot. Let the healing energy flow through these spaces in between the small bones that make up the foot. Feel the energy rising through the tops of the feet into the ankles. Let the healing energy swirl around the outsides of the ankles. Guide it up the fronts of the lower legs, feeling it rise up your shins. Gently wrap around the sides of the lower legs, and then flow into the calf muscles and the backs of the lower legs. Guide this energy higher. Let it flow into the knees. Feel it rise upward into the fronts of the thighs. As this healing energy travels through the quadriceps, the large muscle group in the fronts of your thighs, consciously relax the quads, then let go, then release. Then guide the healing energy around the sides of your thighs. Let it flow into the hamstrings and the backs of the thighs. As the healing energy travels through the hamstrings, let any tension or any emotions that may have collected in your hamstrings start to ease away. Slowly guide the healing energy up to the hips. Feel the energy as it swirls around the outsides of the hips. Let your hips unwind. Feel them open. Guide the healing energy higher. Let it travel upward into the abdominal cavity. Soften your belly. Feel this energy rising even higher, letting it travel to the center of your chest. And once it's reached the center of your chest, let it spread out across the chest, reaching all the way out to the sides of the rib cage. Allow your chest to untighten. Move the healing energy upward to the tops of the shoulders. Relax your shoulders towards the floor. Feel the support of the ground beneath you. Move the healing energy from the shoulders upward into each side of your neck. As you become aware of both sides of the neck, notice the bands located within each side of the neck. Consciously let any stress held in the sides of the neck melt away. Soften the throat. Relax the jawline. As you release your jaw, notice the space created between the upper and bottom row of teeth. Let the energy travel into the face. Feel this healing energy spread out across the face, moving all of your facial muscles out to the sides, releasing any lines or creases that might exist in the face. guide the energy back from the forehead into the scalp. Let this healing energy wash throughout the entire scalp like warm water from a shower. Allow the scalp to loosen. Slowly guide the energy from the back of the scalp into the back of your neck. As you become aware of the back of the neck, visualize the small muscles within the back of the neck softening, letting any residual stress in the back of the neck fade away. And slowly guide the healing energy down the spine till it's spiraling in between the spaces of each of the vertebrae that make up the spine until eventually it reaches the base of the spine. Feel the energy radiate out from the center of the spine and flow across the middle of the back. Let the healing energy slide down into the lower back. Then guide it up across the shoulder blades. Invite the energy to flow freely throughout the entire back, deeply massaging all of the muscles of the back, seeking out any knots that might exist within the muscles of the back, and rubbing those knots away. Guide the energy up from the shoulder blades back to the tops of the shoulders. Once the energy is returned to the tops of the shoulders, feel it flow through the upper arms, relaxing the muscles of the upper arms. Guide the energy into the elbows. Pause to sense the spaciousness within each elbow joint. Move the healing energy through the forearms, into the wrist joints. Sense the spaciousness within each wrist joint. And finally, let the healing energy flow into the hands and collect in the center of the palms. Once you feel that you're holding this energy in both hands, send it out to your fingers. And take a moment to notice each finger one at a time. As you focus on a single finger, notice the knuckle joint within that finger and sense the spaciousness within the knuckle joint of the individual finger. And just give yourself a moment to do this with each finger. And then once you've had a chance to check in with each finger individually, in your own time, visualize the healing energy exiting out through the fingertips, removing with it any toxins or impurities from the body, leaving your entire body cleansed and deeply relaxed, and your mind at peace. It's still aware, still awake and alert, just highly focused for a moment as you turned your concentration to focus on one point only, which happens to be your own relaxation. Let's take an active inhalation through the nose, longer exhalation out through the nostrils, and repeat this deep breath one more time, filling the body with fresh air and very slowly releasing that breath back out through the nostrils. When the exhalation is complete, I invite you to open your eyes, stay relaxed and comfortable in Shavasana. So still relaxing on your back. We're going to take a little bit of time to gently reawaken the body. You can wiggle your toes, roll your ankles around, roll the entire leg in and out from the hips. Then let the lower half of the body rest. Moving to the hands, wiggle your fingers, then let your hands relax. Walk the heels to the sit bone, so both knees bent, both feet flat on the floor. Raise your right arm overhead and roll onto your right side. Stay resting here for a few natural breaths. You don't need to come up too quickly. But when you are ready, press your left palm to the floor, and you can push yourself back into your easy seat, Sukhasana, or any comfortable cross-legged position that works for you for meditation. Our meditation is only 1 minute long, just 60 seconds. We're going to focus on what's called our third eye, the Ajna chakra. It's an energy point located in between the eyebrows and slightly above. Before we bring our focus to the third eye, decide on your hand placement. Just a few options here if you'd like. You could have the palms turned down on the knees. You could turn your palms upward to the ceiling in a receptive position. If you want, you could add a mudra, pressing the index finger and thumb together to aid with concentration. Or you can form a beggar's bowl in the center of your lap with one hand placed inside the other, palms turned upward to the ceiling and the thumbs touching. At this point, I invite you to close your eyes, bring the focus to the chakra known as your third eye, which is located in between the eyebrows and slightly above. And during the next minute of silence, when you become aware that the mind has moved on to other thoughts, gently return the focus to your third eye in between the eyebrows and slightly above. We're going to slowly return our awareness to the room, taking an active inhalation through the nose with a longer exhalation out through the nostrils. I invite you to gently reopen the eyes, gaze softly at the floor in front of you, and we'll end the day here, sealing in the benefits of today's practice. Namaste. Thank you guys, and I hope to see you tomorrow and maybe on Thursday if you can make it for Express Yoga. Remember, Thursday's Express Yoga, 11:15 to 11:45. It's the same as this class. You'll still get some relaxation. It's just shortened.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.